We had the most lovely time at Corsica, but now it was time for us to move on, something that also meant leaving France behind. We were truly impressed by the beauty of the French archipelago, and now we were about to find out if the small Italian islands of Tuscany could live up to the same level. The leap to the closest island is not at all very far. We have Italy ahead of us, the island of Capraia. We had reserved a place in the small lovely port of this island that is a part of the national park. It felt like a romantic getaway surrounded by wilderness that we couldn't wait to explore. Capraia is the only volcanic island in the archipelago of Tuscany, and sorry, it's also a famous hiking destination. So it's a lot of hiking routes. We didn't manage to find the hiking map, but I still think we used Google Maps a little bit, and we're going to take a tour up to what is supposed to be the old crater from the volcanic times. That's now a little pond that collects fresh water, so it's more like a little lake. I think it's going to be beautiful, and we're up in the little bit more early morning, so it's not that hot yet. We are lost before we even get started. We missed to turn at the church. This seems more right. Already at the start we could picture we would have some views from the mountains ahead, and once we were on the track it seemed well guided. More signs. I already like this hike. It's straight into the nature. We just left the harbor area and it's very green and lush all the way around us. And you can say, I think you can see like it's a high mountain up there. So I think the elevation is going to be about 400 or 500 meters. Look at all those cacti fruits. I'm not sure those are eatable, but we're gonna Google it. And from what we could find out, they were. We met a couple of Italian guys and they had like a big white box, so we just like thought they were harvesting something, but they were like, no, it's mufflon sheep. So unfortunately they had a dead sheep, but they also told us that we could potentially spot the mufflon sheep with the big horns here in the hills, so I hope we do. They are so cute. But frankly, to spot a sheep in these scrubs would be almost impossible. It's very informative everywhere with small signs of what all the plants are, and it's some herbs growing here and a lot of scrubs, of course. They really made an effort to make a good hiking route. I don't quite like this hike this much anymore. There's very many uneven stones, so you have to watch your feet really carefully, and now it's just a tunnel of trees, so it's a lot of spider nets, and I really don't like spiders. But Gunnar is walking ahead, so I need to catch my breath.
I'm collecting the spiders.
Yeah. We are approaching the lake. It's just I think we can see where it goes down. It's been uphill for I don't know how long. It's really an effort to walk on this path. At least now we can see the sea on the other side. I think we have a bit of downhill. I think our cardio is not the best because we spend so much time on the boat, but also this hike was said to be a really difficult one, and I think we can agree on that. It's starting to be Some view.
But there we realized
We took the wrong way at some point, so we're not really where we expected to be. But now we figured out to come to the lake we have to go uphill there, but we should have been there already and been on the way south. So I think we're gonna miss out on the town, but I mean the nature is gorgeous and we're out of those creepy spider paths, so I guess it's gonna be nice from now on. We think this is the lake we've been looking for. It's surrounded by fences and it's the only thing we can walk around here, but there's definitely not any water. I'm mildly disappointed. No, I'm really disappointed because we took a really effort to walk here to see this lake that we've seen in pictures to be really beautiful, and now there is no lake at all. I mean, they could warn people for this. And it's like wet vegetation, like plants that only grow in water in the edges. But no water. Maybe we misunderstood because we can see some water.
Thankfully, we are better at navigating on water than in the mountains.
Okay. I mean, we're maybe not that smart, but we do have some water. It's a pond. We are at the bottom of the valley. We can see signs that water has floated here. Not now, obviously, but it's a lot of flowers and you can see on the rocks it's been a water path. It's about 4 hours later, almost, and we are back to civilization. We're gonna go to the tiny village. We took a little detour to actually get there, and we start to come around some houses, and it's actually really pretty.
Cabrera gave a very good first impression of the Italian sailing grounds, and we now long to see more of the 7 islands of the Tuscan archipelago, but Gunnar longed even more for a swim, so we made a short stop before we lifted the anchor to sail to Elba, an island big enough to have several towns.
There is absolutely no wind, not even one knot of wind, so I think we will have to motor quite a bit today. It's a lovely morning. We got some wind, so we are hoisting the main. A pleasant surprise. We could also roll out our Genoa, so I think we still have to go with the engine a little bit because we will make like about 1 knot, but I think the wind will, it looks like it's going to pick up in front of us.
It didn't, but we eventually anchored in a beautiful bay with lots of small garfishes. But Gunnar also found something more unusual while checking on the anchor.
The first thing we see when checking on the anchor is there is a giant octopus that's crawled into like almost like underneath the anchor. I've never seen an octopus this big before. Den är här, men han är borta.
To see a bit more of the island, we rented a scooter. But we didn't stay very long, then soon set sails for the infamous island Giglio, something that got us to change our minds more than once. Join us next week for the tour, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out. If you like this episode, please give it a big thumbs up.